We're here with Commonwealth Games double silver medalist Quadri Aruna and his wife Ganiyat. Thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure to be here with you.
You're welcome.
Speak louder.
You're welcome.
So, Quadri, before we go into the interview proper, I think there's usually this mix-up about your name. Everyone calls you Aruna Quadri. Which is your first name? Which is your surname?
My first name is Quadri. Surname is Aruna. But I think that started from Europe. You know, the Oyinbos, they actually have like something difficult to call me Quadri. So they feel it's more easy if they say Aruna, Aruna, Aruna. And for that reason, almost everyone is now calling me Aruna.
And so you don't mind?
I don't mind. It's okay. It's the same.
All right. So, Quadri, you just won the Seamaster ITTF Challenge Nigeria Open, became the first ever Nigerian to win that. What is the feeling like making history?
I'm very, very happy. I think I've always been making history, giving my best all the time. But this one is huge because this came in front of the home crowd, and you know there is nothing good as winning in front of the home crowd. They have been hearing about me, watching me in almost everywhere, and finally they were watching me live, and I won in front of them. So it's some kind of huge respect. And I strongly believe that it was not a personal work, it was a collective work. The coaches, the players, almost all the players, the board members from Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, they all supported me. They gave me almost everything. And the home crowd, they did a great job by supporting me from the beginning to the end. So I can say that the trophy has finally came back home. And we hope that next year, Nigerian will win again. Even if not, it's going to be me. I'll be very happy if Nigerian win again.
Having that huge support from the home crowd, did that place you under serious pressure? There
is always pressure. Immediately after I finished practicing, warming up and preparing to go to the hall, almost all of them, they were always shouting and shouting. And okay, of course, this is really good. This motivated me a lot. But at the same time, I was always under pressure, something like, oh my God, I have to give my best. I have to prove that I really deserve this kind of support from them. So for that reason, it was always very difficult. But it's the best thing so far. When you are playing in front of the home crowd and almost all of them are supporting you, then it means you have almost everything. So I can claim that as home advantage that gave me the chance to win.
But there was something peculiar about your supporters. We had old women, elderly women, young men, young boys. How did that make you feel?
I think it was a great one. Before the final, I think the hall was never full like that, and like 2 hours before the final, I arrived inside the hall and I saw that the hall was full. We have younger ones, older ones, even like some other spectators that are not used to playing table tennis. All of them were there, and that actually motivated me a lot. And at the same time, I was under some kind of pressure. So I think I was really excited that so many crowd watched me play during the final.
Ganiyat, can you tell us how you felt on that day of the final? I saw you after he won, you know, how you rushed down, you rolled on the ground. Just tell us how you felt on that day.
That day, I must confess that I'm the happiest woman on earth, because that's what I've been dreaming of, that he should at least win this year's edition. So, and I'm so grateful, and I thank everyone for their support, because their support really counts. So I must confess, I'm very happy. Even up till now, I'm still happy.
And then you played in the qualifying rounds, I think, at the tournament. Can you just tell us how your own experience was?
Though to that, what happened is that since the last year edition, that was when I played last, because I've not been able to practice. I've been taking care of the family. Whenever my husband is not around, I have to take care of the kids. So since then, I've not been able to go for practice. So I came back to Nigeria, I think June. So I started playing back then. So that was, I only have 2 months practice to the Nigerian Open.
But definitely table tennis is not something you think of stopping anytime soon.
No. As a sport lady, I think I still have age by my side, so I can continue playing till old age.
Okay, so Quadri, can you tell us which of the games, at the Nigeria Open was the toughest for you?
I think the toughest so far was the one I played against the guy from Thailand. If we could remember, yes, if we could recall the scoring line, like the first 3 sets, it was like 2-point difference. So it means I was really lucky in the first 3 sets. So if I was unlucky, then they could have won 4-0 in the same way. So I can confess that was the toughest one. The other opponent, I played against them already several times, so I knew them. They knew me as well. But the guy from Thailand is really new to me, and his style of playing is really strange. So the toughest so far was the semi-final match.
So one of our followers has asked us, what is your secret? What helps you to continue winning?
I can say that I have several secrets. The first is God. I can say the second is my wife, because if you are traveling, going for practice, someone is just there alone, taking care of the kids. It means that is one of the huge support I have. Without having someone taking care of the kids, it's going to be very difficult. Almost everyone loves kids. Almost everyone wants to give attention to the kids. So without having someone taking care of the kids, it's going to be very difficult. Another is that I'm always working harder and harder whenever I have chance. And I always want to do much more better. I want to be a better ambassador for my country, my club, and my sponsors. And finally, I always believe in myself that there is reason for God to put me in this position. And for that reason, there is nothing I will not be able to achieve if I'm able to work very hard for it.
And Ganiyat, how does it feel being married to a top-level tennis player who is always traveling around?
Sorry, in addition to what you just said, we would like to appreciate our prayer warriors, because their support, their prayers really count, and they've been supporting us. So back to your question, what do you...
I asked about how do you cope with him traveling around, being married to a top table tennis player?
Well, it has not been easy, but I have no choice, because that's one of the things that I've been praying for. So, and here it is. So I must continue praying and keep supporting him.
All right. So, Quadri, we know that the African Championships is coming up next month in Mauritius. What's your preparation like towards that?
I think I'm actually having some kind of rest now, and for that reason, I definitely need to start practicing from next week, because African Championships is going to be in Mauritius from 3rd until 10 September. So for that reason, I'm going to start practicing again from next week, and we are hoping that we'll be able to qualify for World Team Cup again, because that is the qualification for World Team Cup. We've not been present in the World Team Cup since 5 or 6 years now. So we hope that we'll put Nigeria on the world map again in table tennis team event.
And then the ITTF also listed you for the World Cup. How did that make you feel, and what's your target for the World Cup?
I'm very, very happy. Initially, in the beginning of the year, I lost to Omar Asar in African Cup, and that was just the first qualification series for the World Cup. So immediately after that, I knew it was still possible to qualify for the World Cup again, but I have to work harder and harder. I have to play more tournament and be ready to travel. So I did all that, and finally I give thanks to God that my dream again came true, to be in the World Cup again. Of course, I'll be preparing very well. I'm going to be starting from the African Championship. That is going to be first tournament of the new season. Immediately we'll go to playing Champions League with the club. Then finally World Cup is almost like 2 weeks after that. So I think with these 2 tournaments, the African Championships and the club engagement, I think I should be able to get well prepared.
Can you briefly tell us about your cup and playing in the Champions League?
My club is in Portugal, Sporting Club de Portugal. They are in Lisbon. It's one of the biggest clubs in Portugal, and if not the best, it's one of the best. We started playing Champions League for the first time since last season, and we gave some kind of surprises to almost everyone in Europe. Being the first time playing in Champions League, we go to semi-final, we caused several upset, and we are hoping for that again, that we should be able to repeat last year successes if not even more than that. But we are hoping to repeat the successes we recorded last year.
You were at the Commonwealth Games this year. You got to the final, narrowly missed out on winning silver. Were you disappointed with your performance? And how did it feel winning 2 silver medals at the Commonwealth Games?
I can say that I was really happy because I was not supposed to be there. I got really sick like few days to the Commonwealth Games. I was actually preparing very well, and like days to start the Commonwealth Games, I got really sick. And finally, I was able to win a silver medal, despite I have played already in 2 Commonwealth Games without an individual medal. So I think it's one of the proudest moments for me.
So, Ganiyat, you play table tennis. Your husband plays table tennis. How did you guys meet? Can you just tell us? I'm sure some of our followers would like to hear that story.
Okay. If I could remember vividly, we met at Anuka Games, and that was at Abuja, 2006. So what happened was that he asked me out then, but I said no until year 2007.
Wow, what was the no for?
Because then I was not interested. So later I had to consider him. Then we started like play. And look at the result today. Thank God for the journey so far.
So 12 years of being together, what has the journey been like for you?
Just like she said earlier, we met 2006 at the Anuka Games. I used to be a very stubborn boy who disturbed her a lot. And it took her like years before she was able to agree for me. I think it was around 2008 we were in African Games camp or something in Ibadan, and I could remember vividly that she finally agreed to be with me just because one of our legends, Bose Kafo, finally talked to her, and she finally agreed. So I must say a very big thanks to our senior, Bose Kafo, for helping me to finally get her. So I think I'm very happy and satisfied for being with her over the years. She's the best woman in the world so far for me. A very good mother, a very good wife, a sister. I think she's everything to me, and I can actually attribute some of my successes to her for giving me necessary support all the time. And I think we are hoping for the best in future.
So you have 3 kids now. Are any of your kids interested in sports, and would you like them in particular to play table tennis?
I really don't mind. Only God knows tomorrow. My first daughter is actually interested in playing table tennis. She's always asking to go to practice with me, and I can say that I got her some equipment already, and she's practicing already. But you know, the kids, they can always switch and change. You never know. So I believe it's very possible she play table tennis or other kind of sport, and I'm not going to be disturbing her if she really wants to settle for sport, because sport is one of the best things in the world.
Okay, during the Nigeria Open, you know, there was this statement you made about other sports not being given as much support as football. We've had different opinions about that. People have said all sorts of things, but can you elaborate on that, you know, about other sports not being given as much support as football?
For example, we are going to African Championships this year, and several years ago we've been playing tournament with our money. I think we say that, and we said that again and again all the time. Okay, sometimes we used to get our money back, but it's not really normal when you have to represent the country and you have to spend your money in the first place. And even after we get our money back, we are always not being given allowance. So it means if we don't have personal money, then we won't be able to represent Nigeria. So I think the best so far is always to have budget for all kind of sporting federations, so that everything can go in place. Not that they will be saying there is no money all the time. And I think the support is like zero. If you are going to tournament, they don't give money on time. That is really zero. It's not the same for football. If you ask any football stars to buy his ticket or pay for his hotel, they won't listen to you. So it means they are taking other sports for granted. They should always give budget to each sport federation so that they can carry out their things yearly. So I think it's just about financial support.
At the 2016 Olympics, you became the first African to get to the quarterfinals. You made the finals of the men's team and single events at the Commonwealth Games this year. Quadri, do you have a personal coach?
I can say now clearly that I am thinking to have a personal coach, which is one of the coaches that built me up since I was really young. And we have witnessed what he was able to do during the Nigerian Open. That was the first time he was going to be staying behind me in the international tournament, and it was a success. So I can say that immediately after the Nigerian Open, I have decided that Sharafa Adeleke, who used to be a coach from my hometown, will always be my personal coach.
So is that based on, let's say, financial limitations? For instance, would you like a foreign coach?
I think until now I'm not interested in any kind of foreign coach. I worked with several coaches abroad, and I think we should give chances to home-based coach as well, so that they can learn and get some kind of exposure.
Thank you very much, Aruna and Ganiyat. Okay, Quadri and Ganiyat, Aruna, for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it and wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much. We are very happy to be here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much.